If you're looking to improve your personal productivity, there's a great tool that can help you do this, and it's been developed by Stephen Covey, the late Stephen Covey, in his book Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. The book itself is worth a read, but it's this great model in it, and the model is all about improving productivity. Now, good productivity is around a couple of things: clear focus and maintaining that focus, having the discipline to stay on track, but also the discipline to do the things that matter. And staying there, and then taking control of the environment and of the situation so that you get the best outcomes for you and your business. And Covey's tool helps with a number of these areas, and it's a simple tool, and it's based on 4 quadrants. So basically, the model says, I think this is also called the Eisenhower method, but Stephen Covey certainly sort of promoted it in his book. And he says basically tasks are either urgent or not urgent, or they're important or not important. And as a result, you end up with these 4 quadrants. So quadrant 1 activities are all those activities that are urgent and important. And typically, they are things like crises, pressing deadlines, problems, all that sort of stuff, all the bushfires that pop up in our business, and all the things that are urgent and we must do, right, because they're urgent and important. The second quadrant is the things that are important but not urgent. So they're building relationships, both personal and business. It's about planning, it's strategy, it's training, it's fitness, it's life balance and family and focus on yourself. All those things we tend to bump, all right? Now they're the important things but not the urgent things. Quadrant 3 activities are things that are urgent and not important. Interruptions, phone calls, popular activities, meetings, all that sort of stuff. They're often things that are thrust upon us by other people. Yeah. So they're often responding to other people's deadlines for things that aren't necessarily important to us. And then the last one are things that are not important and not urgent. And they're typically, trivia and social media in some cases. I know social media can be a business tool, but often it's not. We're just using it for recreational purposes, and a lot of things that are just time wasters, the footy pools and all that sort of stuff. Now, I'm not saying don't do those things, but if you're going to be productive, you need to be able to do those at the right time. And a gentleman who's my business coach, a guy called Chris Mason, says the more time we spend in quadrant 2 activities, the less time we will spend in quadrant 1 activities. And so it's really important that when you're actually planning your time, that you have the discipline to plan and focus on some of these activities, some of these quadrant 2 activities, because the more time we spend in quadrant 2, the less time we're going to spend in quadrant 1, because we're doing the planning, we're doing the pre-work, we're setting up the templates, we're processes, systems, all that sort of stuff. We're mentally stronger, all those sort of things that improve our resilience and our ability to function well under pressure. All those things we do in quadrant 2. So it's important that you block out time in quadrant 2, time for quadrant 2 activities in your week, and that you leverage that time effectively. To give you an example, I used to start out. I started doing this when I first started my own business, and I used to start blocking out time on a Saturday morning, because at that time I was working so hard in the business that I didn't have time during the week. So instead of sleeping in the Saturday morning, which was my normal routine, I would decide I would get up at the normal time, work for a couple of hours, but not do client work and business as usual work. I would do the strategic work. I'd do the quadrant 2 activities and get them done. Interestingly, before long, I'd freed up enough time during my week for me to then be able to do that work on a Tuesday morning. And eventually I used to do Tuesday mornings and Friday afternoons. And Friday afternoons I would block out so that I could go traveling if I needed to. If I wanted to go away for the weekend with my wife and family, I could. But otherwise, it gave me a chance to wrap up the week and finish up the week without any client appointments and things. So I blocked out those times, and I've got more and more productive in my time as time goes on. And I still keep Tuesdays and Friday afternoons free to this day. So that's, for the record, 25 years later. All right. So really important that we understand it's about focus, discipline, control, and that we need to make sure we use that Covey model to work out what it is we're going to do, but then we focus on those activities. We take the discipline to actually block out some time and do some stuff, and we take control of our environment so that we're able to work effectively on those tasks. All right, so that's the Stephen Covey 4 quadrants time management model. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Cheers.